Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Arrow, used by world champions Kelvin Kirko, Corey Wedlock, Aaron Tees and Aaron Sheriff. Swirl, Arrow's new colourway, easy on the eye and in over 65 colours. Arrow's enhanced grip allows you to go up 1 to 2 sizes, shaped to give maximum comfort and control. Made in Australia, machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy. Arrow provide the most accurate of bowls. Arrow, same line every time.
Session 2 of Day 5 of the 2024 Australian Open Women's Singles action continues. Kathy Miller against Kathryn Brenton. Kathy of South Australia, the Hawthorn Hawks, and Kathryn Brenton, well, also a Hawk. Very, very interesting here, but she's from Warners Bay in New South Wales. Looking forward to this match. Val Febo, my name. And alongside me once again, not Andrew Howie. Hollywood has come in and played executive and kicked him off. Michael Hollywood Sorensen back on board. Thank you for joining me today, mate.
Not a problem, mate. I thought I'd drop in for another cameo.
Love my company so much you had to come back again.
Mate, what can I say?
So
I'm sure Andrew's got more important things to be doing at the moment, so I was in the area, I thought I would lend a hand.
Very, very nice of you. Now, this match this morning, my word, that wind is blowing a gale at the moment. Wasn't too windy this morning, but both of these two suffered defeats in their opening matches. Kathy Miller to Tilly Arrero of Algester, who we discussed their kits in the previous match. They look sensational. And Kathryn Brenton to Com Games gold medalist, World Championship silver medalist, and all-round superstar human being, Christina Christic, 21-5. So very interesting here to see how we go. Both of them using Henselite XGs. Kathryn will be bowling second. Kathy getting us underway.
Not a bad start.
Kathy actually said beforehand they're both Hawks and they're both actually named Kathryn, but she's enlisted by her nickname, so Kathy v Kathryn, there you have it. The pink bowls are Kathy's, the teal bowls Kathryn's. The last time Hollywood sat in the expert commentary chair, well, we had an absolute ripper of a match in the women's pairs yesterday afternoon. Let's see what we get here.
You wouldn't get a much better game than what we had yesterday afternoon, but I'm sure this morning's game will be of the same quality. I'm sure both girls will be as sportsmanlike as they were yesterday afternoon, but I want to see a nice contest here as Kathy puts another one fairly close.
It's a very handy bowler is Kathy Miller. We've streamed her before. Playing out of Adelaide in South Australia. And the line not too bad for Kathryn Brenton, but the weight just overcorrecting a couple of metres, and let's see where this one ends up. Just underneath, but probably will do for third. It is that drifted hard.
Oh, the wind the way it is, if you miss your line, it's going to make you pay.
We had an absolute ripper of a match to start the morning in session 1. Kelly McCarran up against Alina Nawawi of Malaysia, World Championship winning Malaysian star from last year. That one just drifts through the jack. Kelly McCarran winning 21-20. What a match. Didn't quite see where they were. Today they were at Rabina. They would have been treated to something absolutely special. Kathy Miller looking to add in another one. I reckon she's holding two. Again, that hand swooping hard late, Hollywood.
Yeah, it's very wind assisted on that side of the green when you're coming back into the wind. As soon as you miss your line tight, it's going to really push it across. Don't think this is going to trouble the scorers too much. It seems very, very tight.
So whether it's one or two, We will still determine that. It could be 2 now.
Oh, I dare say that's 2.
We played a 21, 2 hours, 15-minute time limit. As many ends as you need to get there.
I'm going to have a look at this second one. Yes, the conditions are much different to yesterday. We had, well, the first 2 days I commentated, it was nearly no wind, whereas today it's really coming out of the western side.
Very, very windy and gusty. I've got my legs fully under the little tablecloth we have here, Hollywood, because of course my pasty self, I got sunburn yesterday. Just one portion of my leg. That's it.
We saw 2 there. So Kathy.
2 in the end after the measure.
That sun, even in winter up here in Queensland, can be quite vicious. The worst thing is, I only had one leg sitting in the sun yesterday, so I look even funnier because only one leg's burnt.
That's exactly right. Well, it is only one leg of me, but just this one little red patch, like a circular red patch.
It's like when bald people wear their caps and they're in the sun and they get this big cyclops hole on the back of their head. It's quite humorous.
It is. So first bowl of the new end here for Kathy Miller, 2-0 the lead. A couple of people already watching on. Dimitri Matsouris from Adelaide, Steve Byrne from Dunedin. Good to have your company wherever you're watching from around the world and around Australia. Australian Open 2024.
And already into day 5. We're both sticking to the same side of the green, going away from the clubhouse. Back towards the ocean. This looks like a very good track. Just needs to slip under, but it's got the wrong side. Tad overweight.
So Kathy Miller will want to get herself back into contention here. There are 119 sections here for the women's singles, so that means only 9 next best qualifiers get through to make it a draw of 128.
Nice correction there by Kathy.
So big wins are exactly what is required, especially when there is a right-at-home jackaroo in your section.
This is coming in quite nicely as well. And just touches the jack, falls back. Very interesting to see who's holding shot here. And Kathy's still holding shot.
Yeah, it was, from those angles, definitely looks like it's Kathryn Brenton.
The marker put the yellow marker up, so
yep.
It must have run through a little bit further than what it looked.
Yeah, this one's going to start to come back, but just a bit of a high line. These first couple of ends, these players are obviously going to be feeling out the range and the line of the rink. It is a pure rink to play on, one of the purest in the world. Everyone loves green 4 at Broadbeach.
It's probably more open to the elements though.
And
not sure what green they came off from the first match, but I'm sure it'll be totally different to that first green.
And one's dropped in short, so still one. One bowl left to come for both. Some sensational players around the traps here today. Kathy Miller looking to add in another counter. She's holding one currently.
It's on a fairly good line here.
Changed her hand as well, Hollywood.
Yeah, that last bowl of Kathryn's must have got in her eye. It's just gotten outside the count.
So an opportunity for Kathryn Brenton to wrestle shot back and get on the board for the first time in her second match of the AO.
Just needs to touch the jack a little. It'll make the two of it, or sit inside her back bowl.
How are they running? It looks a little tight, Hollywood.
Yes. Not going to quite reach either, I don't think. Well, the weight might not have been too bad, but yeah, you miss your line.
So 3-0 the scoreline.
The greens would be picking up to a really nice pace.
The wind might just wreak a little bit of havoc here.
Yeah,
Often people try and correct a bit for the wind.
The way the wind is blowing at the moment, it's right behind you one way and it's right into your face the other. So it's going to make trying to get your wake correct control a little difficult. But after a few ends, I'm sure that they'll work it out. Shot is no gimme as yet.
Two ends, two measures. Very interesting start. And
the marker had it incorrect.
Well, there we go. Of course, they are allowed a mistake. They do a great job, our markers. That's one in the end to Kathryn Brenton, 2-1 after 2.
And we see the mat go back quickly. Maybe a length change here.
So a couple of planes go past.
I hope Tennille says yes.
What is the... Will you marry me, Tennille? Oh, I really hope so. There was a Tennille working in Broadbeach today. I wonder if that's her.
Wow. I hope she gets to see it.
I know. Oh, good on you, Tennille, and whoever the lucky person is. Hopefully it's not one of those awkward moments where they say no. You seen those videos?
No, I haven't, thank goodness. I don't think I could. I would cringe.
It's horrible. It really is horrible.
As Kathryn just slips past, playing that little length here. Add a bit of length to the game. Bowling back into the wind in this direction. Kathy's got a nice line here. It's not a bad start. Well, I think Kathryn might be a bit tight on this line as well.
It's, of course, Hollywood, the second proposal we've seen on Rinkside. We had one during the World Champs last year, the Australia-France game, that triples men's match. Marry me, Kiki.
Did Kiki say hello?
Kiki said yes. I know
Good
that much
girl.
because that thunderstorm we got gave me a chance to go and ask the players.
The infamous thunderstorm.
That was one of the more bizarre days. And Australia did so well to get through, and then they went on to win the title.
Convincingly in the final too.
Yeah, it was a really fun one to call at Helensvale.
Kathryn's changed her hand.
Kathryn Brenton. So there's an opportunity here for Kathy Miller. I reckon she's got two here, looking to add in a third. Stamp her authority.
She's got the first half right. You've got to get your line. Got to be out there. as that breeze really picks up.
Does, but still enough for 3. Kathryn Brenton with a lot of work to do here to correct. Got her weight right with her first, her line right with her second. Can we get the Goldilocks bowl? Just right.
Just right. Do we call it the Goldilocks bowl or the Kellogg's bowl?
I was actually thinking that. Let's probably cut it down to 2.
Yes.
Don't mind a bit of Kellogg's. Lots of various flavours they have.
Certainly is.
I don't mind. Don't mind the Cocoa Pops.
Just like a chocolate milkshake on a crunchy. Lovely bowl here.
Yeah.
Is it going to hang around?
Might not have.
Still rolling.
Darted away hard. So probably the 2 could even be 1 here. She'll be kicking herself there, Kathy Miller, because it was a free kick to add more. So 1 taken out. They're going to look at the second, maybe the third. Could be any of those 3. Measure coming out. Still looking, so that is 2. Have a look for the third, and
Could be 3.
I think it is.
Yep, 3 it is.
There you go. So, 5-1 after 3. Oh, my word.
Whoops, there goes the screen.
The wind has just absolutely picked up. Our monitor has survived. We are okay.
Thank you.
That just rocketed our stuff away.
Give that screen a plug. That's handled that quite well.
Yep, the old Lenovo. Whew. You okay, Hollywood?
Never been better.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Yep, you can see it on the 45 there on the replay. A bit of panic, but we're all good. 5-1 is the score.
And Kathy's had another good start there.
She looks on, doesn't she, Hollywood?
Her first bowl's been very, very good.
Yeah.
And as during the men's singles, we said the first bowl dictates the match.
Well, it was this morning as well in our first round. You know, it was so important for either of those 2 players to get themselves in. Jackie Miller, when she had the first bowl, she was on top. And when Lorraine Franklin pounced, she was on top. She turned a 3-9 deficit into a 21-11 win.
I turned on just as the Mackenzie Park bowler started making her comeback.
Yep.
Done a bit of coaching work down there for that club, helping their ladies pennant players along.
Fantastic. It's a great club. One of our host clubs here at the Australian Open, one of the 14.
And Madam President of the Gold Coast District is a member of that club, Lachika Muggeridge. Does a great deal of work with our juniors. And she'll be here next Friday with one of the schools that she does a lot of work with.
Ah, it's great.
Showing off our rookie rollers kit.
Oof. The ones that are on sale at the moment,
On special.
25% off.
$412.50, including the wedge.
If you don't mind, free wedge. Whew. Might have to get myself one.
As Kathy sneaks another one in there. That should be 2.
I reckon it is. So Kathryn needs to be careful not to let this get away from her very quickly.
Find this being the kinder way of play with the wind up behind you rather than bowling into it.
This is just going to dart back once more.
Doesn't want to promote that pink one any further.
I might have done it, but this is an opportunity to put in a third for Kathy Miller and really apply some pressure and go ahead. Maybe 8-1. Still one to come for Kathryn, though. She's going to have right of reply either way.
Marker's only called 1 shot.
Wow.
It's a great line here.
Any little...
Only needs to finish it off, but it's going to fall short. Didn't get that big gust of wind from behind this time.
Surprised this is only 1. I'm really surprised this is only 1. It's got to be 1 at a measure. That bowl at 11 o'clock.
You would think a second shot.
It has to be. That might all change now, though. Kathryn Brenton for her final bowl of end number 4.
Still a little bit tight, but depends on a weight.
She's given it a good chance. Holes are made for bowls, Hollywood.
And that is exactly what happened.
So let's see what this is. I dare say this is 2, as the plane with the Tennille sign is going the other way now. So, I wonder if anybody knows Tennille.
Let us know.
Yeah. Got someone named Jedi watching from Papua New Guinea. You'd have to be a Star Wars fan, surely.
You would. Actually, my daughter's name is Tennille, but it's not spelt that way, so I know it's not my daughter being proposed to. Although she is in a relationship with an absolutely lovely man, young man.
Well, maybe it is, and maybe the aeroplane got the spelling wrong. Just check your phone. Keep your phone on you, Hollywood, just in case. So we are getting that measure. This definitely looks like it's got to be a 2. We'll find out in a couple of seconds as Bron just attaches the tape. And
yes,
we were correct. 7-1 is the lead to Kathy Miller, starting this match in blistering form.
But again, the person that gets away early doesn't always win the match. As we've noticed with most of our matches to date, the first person to get away doesn't always win the match. So
Nope.
there seems to be a really nice fight back by the opponent.
It happened this morning, 9-3 in favour of Jackie Miller. Lorraine Franklin stormed home. Yesterday's pairs match, I think that was the one. Mia Baldy and Paulina Laurie against Anda Panchawat and Anyamani Moffat. That had everything. If we had a scoring worm.
It was incredible.
Yep. And we ended up where we started, level. After 18 ends, 17 shots apiece. It was wonderful in every sense of the word. They even gave up a full count, Mia and Paulina.
Yep. And cost both of them the section, which was a shame.
And I must say, Mia was absolutely wonderful afterwards. She came up and shook every one of our hands after the match. I think you might have ducked off, but shook my hand, Lockie's hand, and Aiden Davis's hand, and just.
She did catch up with me, and I did congratulate her on the way that she played and carried herself throughout the whole match.
All 4 of them, the sportsmanship was sensational.
Like you fly all the way over from South Australia and end up playing a couple of your club mates, so it was played like it was just a normal Saturday afternoon roll up. They had plenty of fun, plenty of high fives, hugs, kisses all around. Say yes to Neil.
The plane's gone back over our heads. Could you imagine she didn't see the message? She's paid all that money. So currently 2 more here to Kathy Miller. And an overcorrection this time from Kathryn Brenton.
As the coach of the Broadbeach Juniors goes past.
Love a junior coach. So good giving back to the next generation.
Oh, and he's a great bowler as well. Really piling the pressure on his Kathy.
The boss. So we could be sitting at, as the score stands, live score, 10-1. This has got to be there for Kathryn Brenton.
It's a much better line than what she just played. She's going to need the jack because it is going to turn away a lot with that breeze flying through behind us.
Good reflexes from yourself, Hollywood, as the wind comes. Just holding that monitor.
Thought I better grab the screen just in case. Oops, Kathy's been blown off the mat.
All right, so Kathy Miller a chance to really heap this pressure on and put in a 4th.
And pointing nicely.
That is...
Doesn't really want to grab that jack.
Didn't. And it'll do, but I dare say that that one might be obsolete by the end of this bowl.
Well, Kathryn's hoping so.
Will it be 4 times the charm?
It's looking thin out of the hand.
Yeah, that's going to dart away. That is going to dart away. Will it sit on that bowl? It won't. And it's going to keep moving. Has it cut out that?
Front bowl, I'm not sure.
Might have cut out Kathy's last, but it's at least 3. So either way, Kathy will be into double figures.
It's
and
a full count.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's only the 3. I thought she pulled the 4. Hang on.
No,
that is the 4.
That's...
What is it?
Yep,
Yep,
4.
it's 4.
Full count, 11-1. Big start for Kathy Miller. She will be very, very happy with that. She's over halfway done. An hour and 48 minutes to go as well. She's powering through. She wants lunch. Had a hash brown before here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Very nice. This has been a brilliant response.
Let's see if Kathy can dob that first bowl on it again. It's on a fairly good line. Hoping the wind carries it along a little bit, which it's not going to do. All right, Kathryn, here's your chance. The first half's very good. Nice line. But how quick is it travelling? It seems to be smoking along.
And that will end up in the pit. So she was given some room there, Kathryn Brenton. Had to try and make hay while the sun shone. Kathy Miller.
I think Kathy's going to make a major correction here and put the pressure right back on Kathryn. Still a little way short, but
like a hawk to a fish. Not quite there, but it'll still be shot. Hawks miss sometimes.
being a hawk myself, a Helensvale Hawk.
Yep, there's a lot of hawks. Of course, Hawthorn, the AFL club.
Well, have you got your weight right here, Kathryn? 'Cause if you do, you are going to be fairly close.
It's going. Oh, I don't know.
It's got to stop.
No, I think it's stopped in time.
Yep, I'd say that's shot. Kathy doesn't have to do too much to rest the shot back. She may have played it a bit tight.
Yeah, because her line has been splendid for the first two. Just needs to get her weight right, and this time I think she might have got her weight right, but her line off, yeah, weight spot on. So now it's all about the accuracy, but Kathryn Brenton won't mind because she can try and hone in for two here.
Something very similar to her last bowl, and she'll be in the area. And she's got the grass lines nice. Weight's coming down. That will help.
Yep, little rub. And it's probably more.
I think it's two.
It's close.
Kathy needing to make the right correction here.
But yes, I do believe that is two. Looking at the other grid lines, and yeah, that's got to be. It's a big bowl.
All on her speed. She's got the speed, she's got the shot.
And she's got the speed and the line.
Beautiful.
Took 4 attempts, but boy, oh boy, was it worth it. Kathryn must think, what do I have to do?
She's having a good think about the shot. Trying to work out what she's going to play. She's going back to the backhand. Not an easy shot to play if she's trying to draw it.
She's pushed it out on a very wide line here, Hollywood. That one will not get back. Be one more to Kathy Miller. 12-1 is the score. He dropped the one end, and that was a really tight measure as well, where we thought it was Kathy Miller who had the shot. A lot of work for Kathryn Brenton to do. But the South Australian holding sway as the wind really forges on and tries to blow a gale through our marquee.
Just watching bowls on the other rinks that were bowling back into that breeze, it just stopped them like a wall.
It's one where if you're a bit overzealous with your weight, it might have helped you.
Cassie gets end number 7 underway. And it's looking like it's tracking quite nicely to the jack. Another good first bowl. These quite blustery conditions, it's probably a 16-second green. That's not a bad effort.
Line spot on. This one a little bit tight, but her weight might interrupt. Doesn't arrive, so it'll trickle through and turn away hard. Kathy Miller, a chance to pop in too. Really put on this pressure. That's the only single that Kathy Miller has scored in this match on the previous end, Hollywood.
She's had certainly the control of the game. Kathryn struggling a little bit with the conditions. Hasn't quite found it just yet. Hasn't settled into any type of rhythm. But mind you, Kathy hasn't given her a chance either.
No. It's probably only the one. This one's been tossed out on a really wide line, and it's going to take a lot of work to get back. The weight was pretty good, though, Hollywood.
Sensational weight.
And see, this is where it can really wreak havoc with your mind, because sometimes they'll turn back hard. Sometimes they won't.
Yeah, you've got to find that happy medium.
Yep.
But the wider more than narrow is the way to go on these nice surfaces here at Broadbeach. You don't get away with too many narrow lines.
Kathy Miller.
Draws in another nice bowl.
That's 2. 1 bowl left to come for her. 2 for Kathryn Brenton. to have everyone's company wherever you're watching from around the world.
This looks like a nice line. Similar weight to a second bowl, and she's going to be somewhere in the area, but
not going to get down. Again, look at that Hollywood line. It's right on that centre line pretty much. But just, yeah, the weight control has been the issue. If Kathy can put in a third here and really put the pressure on.
First half's right.
Spell panic stations. And this is looking like it's on a sensational track. Just about the weight. Yep, that's 3. But plenty of room here for Kathryn Brenton.
Yeah, there's still a good metre around the jack that she can plonk a bowl in and affect the count. Whether she gets the shot or whether she cuts it back. She's just going to race through again, I think. She's just going to miss.
Yep. So it's a 3 and it's getting dangerous. 15-1 is the scoreline. Of course, these two combatants were given right at home cloths just before the matchup. Great to see right at home our splendid partners at Bowls Australia, naming rights sponsors of the Jackaroos, one of which playing right in front of us here, Christina Christic. Not using the cloths, but they've got them nonetheless for when they need a new bowls cloth. How often do you change through your bowls cloths? It's not something that I've ever really studied. You know, what's a general lifespan of a cloth?
You get quite a lifespan out of a cloth, but again, lawn bowlers being superstitious as they are, they normally like a cloth and they stick with it until they start to lose, and then they'll swap the cloths. I think it's just a personal thing. There's cloths have a fair bit of wear in them.
Yep.
Had a couple of mates that have used the cloth pretty much since day one, and you can see the holes in them, but they just won't get rid of them because it's just an omen that they have. Like people in their hats.
Yep.
You see some pretty tawdy hats out there.
You do.
As Kathy's put another good bowl in as the first one.
This one tossed out wide, and I think it's going to drop short again, Hollywood. Just doesn't have the weight to get there, and I feel like
Kathryn's looking like she's very dejected in herself and just almost
Judy
can't
Strauss.
believe
Yeah.
how she's playing.
Judy Strauss. I keep losing my cloths, so mine don't have a long lifespan at all. Got to keep it. Well, if it's windy where you play, like it is today, then it doesn't surprise me because they would be blowing everywhere. But it's got to keep a good hold on your bowls cloth. I actually got a couple at. I'm not a full-time bowler myself, but I've got a couple at home now that I've just accrued, and it's a nice little chamois to clean the house.
They're very good for cleaning windows.
Yep. Just missing the jack.
Just needs that little bit of luck. Or that one bowl where it just gives her the confidence where she goes, okay. But at the moment, Kathy's just found a line and a rhythm and not getting a lot of pressure put onto her, so she can just basically having a roll up as it would seem at the moment. She plonks another one in there. Whilst poor Kathryn, she's searching for a line, she's searching for a weight, and then praying for a result as it gets close to the head. I think she's tight again on this line.
Yep. So currently a 3 at the moment. It's probably a bit short to opportunity to hold a full count again. Scored 1 on N5, did Kathy Miller.
Yeah, it's out in a good area. She's got to have the same weight as the last couple, and she's going to be scoring again. which she has.
Good spot. So, currently a 4. Kathryn Brenton with a big bowl here. She's down 15-1. If it stays like this, 19-1, and Kathy Miller 2 shots away from victory.
She's got this out on a better line.
How's her weight? Strong. It's too strong.
That looks like another 4.
19-1 is the score.
As Kathy gets us away on the next end.
Just needs a 2 now. It's going to take a Lazarus-type effort from Kathryn Brenton, but we've seen stranger things in bowls.
It's a good start.
It's very hard when you've got an opponent that keeps putting them down like that, that's for sure. That is for sure. Very enjoyable performance from her, Kathy Miller. It's exactly what she needed after dropping her first match. That was against Tilly Arrero of Algester, who's playing Christina Christic right now. 5-all in that match. Chrissy holding a couple, I think.
Possibly 3.
She was looking at a 4th there, I believe.
As Kathy draws another close bowl. Holds match at the moment. Kathryn with the first, wasn't too far away. Just needs to make a minor correction.
So this is really, really handy for Kathy Miller because she lost her first match, 21-11. So she's -10. She needs all the shots that she can get. If she wins at 21-1, she's in the plus category. There's only 9. There's how many next best qualifiers? I think 9.
This might have just gone out of the count. Gives her a little bit of confidence now. She's played 2 fairly nice bowls on this end.
So yeah, Hollywood, 9 next best qualifiers. You need all the shots that you can get if you drop a match, but the problem is her last match, she's up against Christina Christic.
Makes it very difficult.
It does.
Kathy just goes through there. Mind you, this 8-all here on the Rinkby side with Tilly and Christina. Kathryn puts down her third bowl. Might just be a little high and wide. Well, Kathy only needs to touch this jack into those 3 bowls and this game could be over. She's just going to fall short across the head. So, unless Kathryn does something really drastic here, we should get another end.
Yeah, she doesn't want to move that jack back at all. This could be the final bowl of the match. Tossed it down on a safe line, might only just be the single, and we might go on a little longer. Although, Although,
Sure, this will go. It can only be one. Which way it goes, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like one to the pink. Not going to go making an early prediction just yet.
I think I agree with you. But Kathryn Brenton is holding the mat here. Conveying. Surveying the head. Let's see. We are getting a measure. Let's see what this is. Only played, this is the 9th end.
And one to Kathy.
So,
all but.
She's 20-1 ahead. One more to win. So, how many ends do we have left? A little bit more of an extended break.
The jack going all the way down to the 2 metre mark.
And it stays on. So Bron places it on the tee. Do we get a little bit of excitement? Does Kathy try and pop it in the pit?
We're not at the BPL here, mate.
Doesn't matter, I've seen it before.
Mind you, I think she might have put a fair bit on this. So.
Yeah, that's racing. I told you, Hollywood. Might stay on. Actually came back quite nicely.
Did.
She turned her back on it pretty quickly, but that's a handy bowl.
It's going to come across the head.
Yeah, that won't do. So still holding game is Kathy Miller.
Nice speed there, though. Just got to correct that line. Just got to start giving a bowl a bit of a chance. Kathy's got this out on a fairly nice arc. Just going to pull up short.
So Kathryn Brenton has 3 opportunities to wrestle shot back. Both of them named Kathryn. Both of them represent the Hawks.
This one's looking a little better, but I still think it's narrow. Unless she grabs the jack. She's well on line 2. And yes.
Got it. In the ditch.
Well,
told you. Jack Pitt. So that might keep us going a little longer because it's pretty close to it.
That will not be easy to draw.
Lovely little gesture there from Kathy Miller, giving her opponent a high five for a shot well played. So we have 2 marks there to show us where the shot bowl is and where the jack is. We saw an exhibition of ditch drawing in the last match. Jackie Miller played a sensational delivery.
This is on a very nice track.
It really is, Hollywood. Just
How's
needs the weight.
Speed?
Just needs the weight. And Kathy Miller
just pulls up.
Needed just a tad more. Doesn't need to do much else with her last.
Well, it's definitely taken it back to only 1 down.
Might go on a little longer. Who knows?
This is on a nice line as well. Just got to pull up inside that pink one to score another shot. Oh, may not quite have just got there.
So Kathy Miller can she hold game once more?
Asking the question of the marker, whether she's 1 down or 2.
1 and a measure, apparently.
Kathy's changing hands. Doesn't want to run the risk of knocking that bowl up.
Kathy Miller.
He's going to knock that one up.
It's a clear.
She thought she was playing the safer side of the rink, and it didn't work out that way.
Now it's 2 down.
Don't think this one's going to trouble the scorers.
No. So let's see. I think it's 2.
I think she's tripled the score.
So I think we definitely will be going on one more end at least. Is the comeback on Hollywood?
Oh, we've seen, like you said, we have seen stranger things, but it's going to be a very, very big comeback if she does.
Has to be nigh on perfect. Christina Christic was 8 all, well 5-8 down actually, and she's gone 3-3-3 to go 14-8 ahead. And that is a 2 to Kathryn Brenton. We continue 20-3. It's the second end she's won this match.
And she will be feeling better for it.
Oh, yeah. 3 is much nicer than 1. That's for sure. So, she was down game a couple of times there. Managed to rectify the situation. Can she do so once more? And just continue to peg this back. The problem is, Kathy has kind of shown strength with every single length that we've seen. So that must play into the mind of Kathryn, saying, what on earth do I have to do here?
Kathryn's just got to block that out and try and play her own game. Try and just get herself back into the game, find that rhythm, find that line. And when your opponent only needs 1 to go out and you're that far behind, it's very hard to take those negative thoughts out of your mind process. She's given this a fair chance. It's in the area.
That last shot, always the hardest one to get. So Christina Christic next door enjoying a really nice fight back. As I said, down 8-5. And has rocketed away with 3 threes to go 14-8 in front.
Kathy's just going to pull up a little short with this, but possibly the shot that she requires.
Oh, it's very close.
I'm sure we'll get closer bowls than that one, but
that is very close. I think that's it. That's the shot.
Kathryn's going to persist with that side of the green, needing to avoid Kathy's bowl. Still a fairly tight line. She's going to slip underneath the jack again and be very close to her first bowl. It's a very good memory.
After this, our final match at 2:30 p.m. is section 2 between Kerry Hilas of Queensland against Chun Gyok Lo of Singapore. 2:30 p.m, just under 2 hours time, so we'll get a nice little chance to refresh and get some lunch.
This looks promising.
It does. Well, maybe losing an end. Has that got in Kathy Miller's mind?
That's a good shot, I think.
That'll do. That's the boss. She'll have right of reply twice, though. Or Kathy Miller. 2 bowls for her to try and win this game now. And head into the clubhouse early.
That's a fairly good line. Now it just has to have the right weight.
It's coming.
It certainly is, but it's just going to slip by.
Not a bad effort.
No, it's a very good effort. Kathryn thoughts, well, I've played 3 here, I might as well keep on it. Running the gauntlet of that pink bowler Kathy's out there, because she has to get very close to that to get close to the jack. She might have pushed this one a bit wide, just taking the safe option.
I think next door, Christina Christic looks like she might have netted another multiple here. And she's changed the mat, and you can see she's made it short. I reckon she might have just netted another 3 to lead it 17-8.
She's going short into the wind and long with the wind.
And Kathy Miller, is she
know.
your winner?
I don't know.
Is she your winner? We'll see them handshake if they are. If not, we'll go on.
The markers walk to the front of the rink, so I'm thinking she still maintained the shot, Kathryn, yes?
She did multiple ends in a row. She's not going away. She's going to make her opponent earn it, which very respectful of that. Doesn't give up. Kathryn Brenton, nicely played. 20-4.
She's got that little bit of confidence now. She seems to know where the ball's going out of the hand, which is something that she hasn't had real good control of up until now. But has she left it too late? As this jack is screaming down the green.
It is. That is powered away. This lock makes a Formula 1 sound effect next to us. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I don't think there'll be too much of an alteration of this. She'll just move the mat forward a mat or two and then throw it to the tee herself. That's where she's found most of her success.
Yep, and she gets last bowl again. It's Christina Christic. She's only 4 away from victory now, Hollywood, I think. She has raced away from 8-5 down. Which I think opens things up a little bit for Kathy Miller, but the problem is she's got to play Chrissy next.
Good luck.
Tilly Herrero beating Kathy Miller 21-11 in the first round. Chrissy winning over Kathryn 21-5.
Is this going to pull up? It has.
So 1 shot needed for Kathy Miller. Has held game on about 4 occasions.
This one comes into rest. It should be fairly close to the jack here, I would imagine. Just sneaking up.
And again, she will hold game.
It's a fairly good starter. It's going to put a lot of pressure back on Kathryn. May have to change hands, and she does. You never know if she gets onto that jack with good weight. Not going to with this one, I'm afraid. As it just plops into the ditch.
So Christina Christic has just netted another 3, Hollywood, to lead 20-8 after being down 5-8.
Bang, bang, bang.
Had an opportunity to get a 4th in there and didn't quite get the weight right, but she won't mind. She's only got 1 shot to go. Who would have thought they were, I think, the same time that Kathy Miller was 20-1 ahead, they were 8 all. both matches might finish on pretty similar time. 20-4 in favour of Kathy Miller.
And Kathryn's under a lot of pressure on this end as well. She's going to have to play an attacking bowl to try and get herself out of this. If she slips underneath this front one, which she's not going to do, she's attempting to get onto that white.
So one more bowl left for Kathryn Brenton to try and rectify things.
I think she's going the city to the bush shot. She's looking for the jack, which if she does get, should earn her close to 2 shots.
Well, I reckon this is 3 here for Kathy Miller, but she only needs 1. Is this the last bowl of the match, or will we continue? Let's see.
I'm thinking it's the last bowl of the match.
That'll do it. Drifts underneath the head. It's a 3, but we only count the 1. 21-4 is the final margin, and
they shake hands and finish the match.
That'll do. Kathy Miller wins it. Played in a great spirit. Look at them arm in arm walking down the green. That is what the AO is about. You meet new people, you make new friends. You might not win, but you have a bloody good time doing it, and that's for sure.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Hollywood, are you going to stick around for the last match? Have we still got you?
I will. I will indeed.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that'd be nice. A nice little reunion after yesterday. We had one session, and we're both having withdrawals. I was missing you. You were missing me. But the dream team back together for one final session at 2:30 p.m. in an hour and 45 minutes. It'll be myself, Val Febo, and Michael Hollywood Sorensen back on deck. Kathy Miller gets the job done, and of course we're gonna the Bowls Australia Resources Hub. Absolutely sensational. We're going to finish with a little video for that because it's a must-have for every club. So stay tuned. Of course, the AO proudly supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Val Febo and Michael Hollywood Sorensen signing off. But stay tuned because how to join the BA Resources Hub is coming up.
Here's how to access and use the Club Map Bowls Australia Resources Hub. First, go to bowls.clubmap.com.au. There's a lot of useful information on this page, but for now, let's click on Access Resources Hub to get started. After clicking on the button, fill out the short form to create your account. Once you've entered your details, click Continue to the Resources Hub. Now we are inside the platform. On the left of your screen, you will see the different sections of the Resources Hub. Click any of them to expand the section and see what's inside. Inside each section is a selection of videos and info pages, covering different topics and initiatives. For example, the Volunteers section contains videos including Volunteer Recruitment Strategy, 5 Key Steps, and information pages like How to Recruit Volunteers. Inside this information page, you can find useful tips and education, as well as downloadable templates, forms, and examples. In this case, you can download forms relevant to paid volunteer funding by clicking on the download buttons. The Resources Hub also contains all of the latest Club Map Bowls Australia webinar recordings, which can be accessed at the bottom of the list. You can also download the slides and read the Q&A. We hope you enjoy the Resources Hub. If you have any questions, we are here to help.